everybody, welcome back to Healthy Minds with Wendy and
Dr. Nyla.
Today we are talking about friends. How do you pick your friends? Have you ever sat down and took a moment to think about it? Think? All right, y'all, let's get into it.
Let's go.
So, Nyla, have you ever thought about how you chose your friends?
So I have been very, very blessed in the area of friendship. So I am fortunate to have friends that I have had. One of my friends, we've been friends since we were 7 years old.
Wow.
And it's been a continuous friendship. And then I have other friends that I've, met in high school. We still have those continuous friendships, and a few that I've met since I've moved to Indianapolis about 20 years ago now. So I've been very fortunate to have very long-standing, very solid friendships.
You are definitely blessed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people I've seen, typically when we're in school, like when we're elementary, middle school, high school, our friendships or those connections are forced relationships because we are in class with them or we have extracurricular activities. So you really, most of the time, don't have to put in a lot of work to meet people and make friends. But then you'll see that transition phase start to change in their 20s. And then people will feel like, oh, I'm lonely. Or you'll see people with cliques. Or you'll see like, I don't know where I fit. And some people just naturally have a hard time making friends. And if this is you, you need to listen, like, share, subscribe, and invite somebody to watch it with you. You may make a connection and a friend. Okay, so you're blessed to have long-term friendships.
And I admit that. And one of the things that has helped, we've gone through different phases of life together. So the friendship looks different and different phases of life. So when we're all in school, elementary school, high school, we have time. 20s, people start getting married, people start having children. Things change. You have careers. We move to different parts of the country. So the friendship has to evolve. And if things aren't evolving, that's when you start to see friendships kind of pull away.
Dissipate, right? I agree. And so I am a person who, as a child, I moved very frequently. And so it was hard to establish and maintain that core of friendship, to have those lifelong friendships. And so to be able to connect with someone was important to me. And learning how do you pick a healthy friend? Because you can find someone like, oh, like we click, they have a good personality, or we have fun doing this together, but then they may be into some things you may not be into. They may have a lifestyle that you don't quite agree with. And so the Bible says evil communications corrupt good manners. And I'll give an example. I had a close friend when in my childhood. We were like this, y'all. We were Bonnie and Clyde. We were, Fred and Barney. We were Mickey and Minnie. We were friends. And not Mickey and Minnie, y'all. Scratch that.
Bonnie and Clyde. Was Bonnie and Clyde?
Yeah, scratch that too.
Yeah.
We were friends. Like we had each other's backs. And as time went on, we lost contact. And then when we came back, when we found each other again, this was before the social media era. We both happened to be at the same hair salon at the same time, and we bumped into each other. And then we reconnected. And when we reconnected, it was like magnet. We went back to our friendship like we had when we were kids, but life happened in between that time. And so again, I'm talking about evil communication corrupting good manners. And so my friend, she had started cursing and cussing, saying bad words. She started saying bad words. And she cussed a lot. And so by me hanging with her, I naturally started cussing too. So much so that I was cussing more than her. But that was never true to my character. I felt like this is just, don't come for me, y'all, and even if you do, oh well. But I feel like cussing is unladylike. I do. I just feel like
sometimes.
Yeah, I feel that's just my opinion.
Right.
But I found myself saying things that I felt like was not true to my character. And so much so that I was infected by curse words. And it took a long time for those curse words or cuss words, those bad words, to be removed out of my heart. Because I don't like, the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
Right.
And so that was one thing. It became a fight for me to make sure the words that I used were uplifting and edifying, and not, not saying things that was not true to who I was. And so when you're picking your friends, you realize the course of that friendship, the dynamics can change.
Right.
And if they change, you have to realize, is this still a healthy connection for me?
That makes so much sense. I think we've all had those moments where you connect with someone, you're like, oh, is this it? Or am I gonna add you to my friend circle? And next thing we know, I'm in the car with you going down some back alley to do something I ain't got no business doing, or accompanying you to buy some things that we shouldn't be buying. And I have found that those people eventually, I've been fortunate enough to let them go.
Okay.
But it's a process of getting there. And when you start to realize, like, this is not the best version of myself or who I want to be, and what's the influence, it could be that friendship. And we definitely don't want to be tied to people that are doing things to bring us down.
Exactly. You don't want friends that are going to be anchors around your ankles.
So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed what we said. We sat and talked to you guys about friendships and the importance of choosing healthy connections. I'm Dr. Nyla.
And I'm Wendy.
And thank you for joining us on Healthy Minds Podcast. Part 2 coming.
Coming.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.